Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Kev's Movie Corner. I'm Kev. Got a special guest. Nikki is joining me this week, and we are talking about The Prince of Egypt.
So this was a Nikki choice.
This was a Nikki choice.
If you couldn't tell by the severe veering off the rails from Kevin's AFI 100 list.
Yeah, this is a little off the rails, which is fine. Like I thought about going away from it every once in a while to just kind of mix it up a little bit. But so this came out in 1998. It is a DreamWorks animation picture that is basically the story of Moses from the Bible. A very condensed, accelerated version because it's only 96 minutes long.
Yeah.
Which I will say for a 96-minute movie, they did a pretty good job of getting most of the story into
the end is the only part that's a little fast.
The end is we did the spoilers thing. So and this is also like 30 years old.
1998, yeah.
So the end, because the end is where he comes down with the commandments. And it's like a 5 or 10 second clip where he's walking down the mountain with the commandments, and then
the movie ends. Yeah,
I'm like, okay, that was weird, because there was a lot of time spent, like the parting of the sea. That was a long sequence.
So I have a funny comment on the parting of the sea scene. So I watched this with Casey.
Okay.
And when that scene came on, he said, they look like they're in an aquarium. Why is that your thought?
That's funny. Okay. So
I liked the art and the visuals and everything.
The art was very nice.
Do you remember the part where the reliefs, like the murals on the wall, like told
moved?
Part of the story, and that part was super cool. I remember that as a kid too.
Yeah. That was another one that I found was weird though, because his sister tells him that he was a slave, and then he all of a sudden just kind of believes it. It was just kind of I was.
Yeah.
And then that was a weird one.
This was another funny Casey comment when she says that, and then he has like a split-second panic attack, and then all of a sudden just accepts that.
Yeah.
Oh yes, because she sang the song. This is my true background, and then he starts singing, and Casey was like, "Yes, I too sing when I have a panic attack." But yeah, it is. They go through everything so quickly. I think that's part of it too.
Which is, I mean, it's
an
animated movie for kids, which I get. Again, it was a really good job. I'm not a super religious person, and it was still a good, it was interesting to watch, and the music was nice and everything else.
And I chose this movie, not because we're super religious or biblical scholars or anything, but purely because I love all the DreamWorks movies that came out around this time. So, like Atlantis, El Dorado, and then there's so many more. Spirit, Shrek. Like, there's just so many super good DreamWorks movies that I remember, and so this was one of the ones that I didn't know what it was about really as a kid. I just thought it was an adventure movie.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, because if you're not versed in what it is, then that makes sense. Did DreamWorks also do an Atlantis movie, or are you mistaking that? Because I'm pretty sure Disney did an Atlantis movie.
Oh, was it Disney? I thought it was
Disney
DreamWorks.
did the like Trek to Atlantis thing. I'm pretty sure that was Disney. I can double check. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway,
either way, it's all the same kind of genre of those kids movies that came out in the early 2000s that are just so good.
This is set in Egypt, which is called The Prince of Egypt, which makes sense. And the story of Moses, but it made me like first 10 minutes of it, which is just kind of like a movie. It's not. It doesn't really tell much of the story. In my opinion, it didn't really mean a lot. I mean, the first scene does, but after that, it's just kind of happenings.
Yeah.
It made me want to watch The Emperor's New Groove.
We'll add that to the list after you go back to the actual good movies that you watch. We'll watch that one.
But
too.
I like the Emperor's New Groove.
I do too.
Like the Kronk and Louisa or whatever
Something like that,
yeah. The villains in it are hilarious. It's just ridiculous, and it's just funny to me.
That is funny.
But anyway, back to the Prince of Egypt. I did not until I looked up this movie because I had never, I don't think, even heard of this movie. I don't remember it
really?
from when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
But which in 98, I guess I would have been around, I was about 10 years old. So yeah, that's about the right age. I didn't realize this has a ton of huge, like big name actors in it. It's got, Moses is voiced by Val Kilmer. His brother is voiced by Ralph Fiennes. Michelle Pfeiffer is in it. Sandra Bullock is in it. Danny Glover, Jeff Goldblum, Sir Patrick Stewart, Dame Helen Mirren, Steve Martin, Martin Short. Like,
yeah,
just how did you get this many people, this many big name actors and actresses to voice the characters in this? Like, this is.
The music was also really good too. The voice acting is great, and the music is really good.
The music is very nice. Yeah. It was well done.
Yes.
And there's a few of there's a couple of these in this series, like the religious type series, isn't there?
Yeah.
I think from them.
Because I think there's also like a Joseph one.
Yep, there's a Joseph one. Yeah, I see on here.
But have you seen? You've seen Les Mis, right?
I have not seen the whole thing.
So there's.
I haven't seen the actual. So okay.
Okay.
My uncle is a big fan of Les Mis.
Okay.
My dad saw it. He called it The Miserables because he hated it. And like, there's a story to this. I actually have the book down there.
Do you?
It's massive.
Yeah, it's huge.
But it's so I haven't seen it.
Okay.
My uncle told me the movie, the big one. I think he said it wasn't very good because it like ends halfway through.
Oh,
I think is what he told me.
Oh, maybe I haven't read the book,
but I don't remember. Anyway, I have listened to all the music from the original Broadway cast.
Okay,
because my uncle had a long time ago a video or a DVD or VHS of them just singing the music on a stage where it was like a performance.
Okay, so you know the music.
Didn't have any of the other stuff like the costumes and everything else to go with it. It was just them singing on a stage, which was kind of cool. Yeah. And we played it once when like we were playing cards or something like that at one time.
Oh yeah.
So I know a lot of the
music. You know the music. Okay.
To a certain extent. I don't, I'm not well versed in it.
Yeah. But do you remember
there's short story long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one song in particular that is almost like battle between Javert and Jean Valjean.
Okay.
Where they sing back and forth and it's like a dueling song. The Pharaoh and Moses song battle just reminded me exactly of that part from Les Mis.
Of Les Mis. Okay.
Yeah. It was just, I was watching it. I was like, this is Les Mis.
Yeah.
What is this doing in here? But
that's cool.
I love the music though.
It was a very good. It was very well done. It was very. It's obviously a story from the Bible, so it makes sense. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
It's probably not something I will watch again anytime soon.
No. Watching it back as an adult is definitely different than as a kid. I thought it was just an adventure. I was wrong.
I watched.
Yeah.
Me and Stevie doing the movies a while back watched back Snow White. And there was something different about it watching it as an adult.
Yeah.
And it's but I don't know what it was. Like, I don't know if it's something that
it's almost like
didn't have
overanalyze it more.
Yeah.
And when they're meant to really most of the time just be enjoyed.
Yeah.
But I, being myself, can't help but overanalyze everything.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of people are the same way. I don't know if that's what you had when you were going back through Snow White, but I think that's like going back now and watching this is vastly different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. So next week, I don't know what we're gonna watch. I'll talk to you. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And we'll do it. But thanks for coming on, Nick. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.